everyone's taking to the new information?
It's been great from the time that we started this thing off. It wasn't like last year was how we wanted to end it. So everybody's hungry, and we started off talking about what it was to end the season and losing a home playoff game and how that's not why we do what we're doing right now. So you can see the hunger in guys to be able to push on into the playoffs and make a run. And you can tell through the meeting rooms, the questions they're asking, the stuff we're getting done on the field has been, I wouldn't want to compare it exactly to this point last year, but you feel like you're even a step further because we didn't change a lot in the system. And now we can get into the nuances of route running and how we're hitting blocks and getting into the shape we need to get into. So they've been hungry. Nobody's resting on any of the statistical success we had last year because ultimately, team-wise and in the playoffs, is far from what we're trying to do.
What is up, Bucs fans? We are back. We're finally back. It's been a while since we've been live here on a Monday. We got Mark Ramirez joining me, my co-host, my good friend. I'm your host, Michael Plus. As always, it's awesome to be back. It's been a while since we talked about Buccaneers football. I think a lot has happened over the last couple of weeks. Buccaneers finished minicamp. They finished their OTAs, finished their off-season workouts, and now they break to head to training camp or prepare for training camp next month, which is crazy to believe, Mark. It seems like this year is just flying by, and we got to take time to enjoy these moments as we get ready for another season.
Now, to be exact, let's take a step back. Happy belated Father's Day to any fathers out there.
Yes, happy Father's Day.
Always proud of that. I got my dad's shirt on today, so I'm repping that today. But also, it's always a great day to talk Buccaneer football. Let's talk some points. Yeah, you were sweating like Grizzard. That man's a sweater. Let's say Hassan Reddick showed face. I mean, some people and most Jet fans thought he wasn't going to show face at all, and he's alive and well, talking nothing but good things. Very well-spoken guy, too. Like, nothing but positive vibes, and I don't think the Jets got to see that. Too much contract stuff and just bad organizational stuff, right?
They didn't see much last year.
So he just sounds like he's ready to rock and roll, and I think Buck fans are going to love this, and something that we haven't had in a while. But not to mention, like, all the good things you're hearing. David Walker, I think, but good things.
Yeah.
Emeka Ogba. I mean, I'm already tongue-tied saying it.
Yeah.
Nothing but good things from him, from Mike Evans, saying how he looks like a damn running back, but catches like Chris Godwin. And that's exactly what we're looking for, right? Tez Johnson, good things. Like, a lot of people just hooting and hollering and saying good things. But overall, it's just a very, very well-rounded team, a lot of depth pieces. And I really want to talk about Todd Bowles and Jason Light both saying that the inside linebacker room is one of the most deep rooms in the whole entire team, and not to mention, obviously, the wide receiver room. But, I mean, that's just a whole lot of mouth diarrhea that came out. So what were some talking points where you're like, holy crap, like, that's some cool tidbit or something that someone said, or even guys in the chat, let us know. What did you think that was cool that either a coach said, a player said, that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think let's take a step further back, and you look at the offseason as a whole so far. When we went into this offseason, you and I talked about how the glaring needs for this team was at middle linebacker. There was needs at the secondary, and obviously, adding more pass rush. And what was the first move they made into the offseason? It was getting Hassan Reddick. It was getting a pass
first signing, I think.
First signing once free agency started. So obviously he was a prime target that they were going after and finding ways to.
Woo!
Yes, there you go. I mean, he's the guy that they expect double-digit sacks from, but getting him on board, and then, like you said, the middle linebacker position, I think what we didn't realize is like how good Servassier Dennis is and like how much he can have that impact. And I think we saw that with the film study that we put out there recently on the channel. And obviously, a lot of people are big fans of Servassier Dennis. They're hoping he does well. There was so much good feedback on that video, a lot of good comments, a lot of good response to what we put out there, and we appreciate that. But just it showed like how much better this defense can be if they have competent linebacker play. Obviously Levante's one guy, but I think that's something that we also hit on last year, where we were talking about Levante was just not in his normal position. He was asked to do so much blitzing, and that's really not his style. That's not his type of game, where he wants to be more of a instinctual player, a guy that can see the field and kind of roam around. So I think from that aspect, there was a lot of factors for the linebacker position, but I think adding now Anthony Walker Jr., who seems like a very good fit. Now you have Deion Jones coming back. So that group is a lot better than what you had in the past. And then the secondary, the young pieces in Benjamin Morrison and Jacob Parrish. I think that's probably what stands out to me so far in this OTAs and mini camp is Benjamin Morrison's ahead of schedule. He's practicing, so that's a good sign. Jacob Parrish looks like the lead dog as far as nickelback goes, as far as the nickel position. He is the guy right now. So
It's just making splash plays, right?
yeah. Yep. And then to button this up, I think just the overall outlook for this team is very strong. I think this is a top 3 team in the NFC that you're looking at, a team that acquired the depth needed to be in a much better place than they were last year heading into the season. And I think you feel confident about the pieces that they have surrounding this team.
This is bold, very bold. My bold prediction, Voss gets all pro either first or second.
Okay.
That would be incredible, considering that Levante doesn't even get a sniff.
Yeah.
One day
yeah,
or a year, right?
Yeah, Levante's never had all pro
Right,
selection.
ever.
I mean, we're talking all pro team, so that's not Pro Bowl. That's
He got
all
one
pro.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
That's why I said not even a sniff, not even a scratch of the ass. Like he got nothing. So like if he gets that, that's incredible. And that means he like lit up the whole entire NFL, not just the season. And it's not a knock on Servassier. And that's one huge talking point that Jason Light wanted to mention. It's like, it's not that he's an injury prone guy. He's just been hurt the 2 years he's been here. But again, it's a recency bias. Like people only know what they recently talked about or recently saw. You have 2 years in the NFL. You've gotten hurt 2 years. Yeah, you have a small sample size of good play and amazing training camps, right? Every training camp, you hear nothing but him getting interception after tip ball, after flying in the air, athletic person. Yeah, but if you can't put it on the field, how the hell is the team going to benefit from you? That's best availability is availability, right?
Right. Yep.
And we just haven't seen it. So let's start with that. Let's just be healthy. And that adds to the incredible inside linebacker room because of, like I mentioned in one of the videos, it's like I can understand it. They just have so much more awareness, experience, just time on the field than they did in years past, than last year. And way faster, not to mention. KJ Britt way slower. Anthony Walker's faster than Levante. He made sure to tell everyone that. And then Deion White.
Deion Jones.
Deion Jones. It's gonna get me because he wears 45 too. But
yeah.
Deion Jones, obviously a fast player. Every damn time he was on the field, he made a play in that playoff game. So I made plenty of time saying this is going to be a good reason to bring him back. It's just, can you keep them all on there and not have special teams? But even though Deion Jones did play special teams in that playoff game, so I understand the reason for them to say it's depth pieces because they're all smart. They're all very viable options to be that number one. But Voss truly is the play caller that you want on the field with the headset in his head. Because if you haven't seen the John Gruden interview with Levante David, he doesn't like doing that. He doesn't like to hear the calls coming in. He wants to be the guy just to read and react, see what's going on the field, play based off of his awareness. He likes to drop back, doesn't want to go balls to the walls into linemen all the time. He wants to use his God-given big gifts to read a play and diagnose and to attack. And I think that's where, if Voss is healthy, that tag team can be phenomenal, because Voss takes the play calling duties off of him. Levante can just play like he wants to play. And
Right.
Voss, again, knock on wood, he stays healthy, but he is a hell of a linebacker that can get after A gaps and blitz very, very well. You saw that in college. So let's just put it all together this year, and it may not be that bold because he can play. It's just, let's see it after 17 games being healthy.
Yeah, for sure. I think, there's a lot of confidence in Servassier. I think they feel good about what he can bring to the table. So that's going to be, he's definitely one of the X factors for this defense. And I think, to what I was saying earlier, that was the big concern. Like, we were talking about defensive group heavily as far as like the whole from last year, because obviously that was the weak link. It was a unit that struggled with injuries. You didn't have a healthy secondary throughout the year. You had basically your starting secondary went down in the first week of the season, and they never played together after that. So that was a big loss. And then once Servassier was out starting week 5 for the rest of the season, just the middle of the defense got exposed. And then going into this year, that's all we were talking about. It's like, how do we fix this defense? How do we fix this? How do we find ways? But what I like about what the Buccaneers did, and that is something that we showed at the start of the live stream, talking about how they're not resting on last year. Like, last year wasn't good enough. They are motivated to surpass last year's results and try to be better in a lot of areas. And that includes the offensive personnel, offensive scheme, all those things, and offensive results as far as production goes. That is something they're trying to improve. And I thought that was really cool to hear how everyone is on board, and they really expect this offense to be not only a top 5 unit, but probably the best in the league. That's what they're pushing for. That is something that I think is definitely attainable. And you have to give Jason Light and Todd Bowles, like you mentioned before I went on my little rant there, they went out and they got a Mecca Buka in the first round. Like, getting a Mecca, a receiver from Ohio State, he was one of the most productive receivers at the university of all time. Like, that is crazy that you were able to get him with the 19th pick in this year's draft, and getting a hell of a player. And just the rave reviews that we're hearing from Baker Mayfield and others about Emeka, I mean, just shows like how good of a player they got in that.
And with that said, you also got to think about it. Like, how many injuries the offense had as well. You just mentioned the secondary. Mike Evans, who's almost never hurt, out for a big chunk of the middle of the season. Yeah. Chris Godwin, out majority of the season. Cade Otton was your number 1 at one point. Sterling Shepard was like your number 1 receiver at one point, right? You had a rookie, Jalen McMillan out there, like, being the number 2, being a viable option where he's learning on the go. It was rough, but the offense was still humming at points. Yes, they could move things around and just rely on the running game for the one time in, I don't know, a decade, it felt. Yeah. It was amazing to see, but they can build off of that, and they're not joking. Like, they should be better. They need to take it to that next level. How he said in his press conference a dozen damn times, we're going to take it to the next level, right? Yeah. That's going to be my thing with him, Rizard. But, like, he's not lying. He's not joking around. It's like, if all the guys are healthy, we should be elite. If one guy goes down, we should still be elite. There should be no hiccup. There should be no drop off, because we drafted a guy that can just step in and not replace, but supplement what the hell just went down. It shouldn't be like, oh, we went from Mike Evans to Sterling Shepard, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's just so much depth in that room. And now you know what Cade Otton can do too. So you have so many other wrinkles you can add, where If a team is really, really good with preventing the deep shot, okay, fine. Let's just keep hitting Cade over the middle until they bite in. Then we go attack them. But that's one aspect of Grizzard. Like, we knew he was great at third down, but can he call a whole game where you're setting things up? Like, Canales was stubborn in doing that. Very, very stubborn, which, and the point of, like, you're beating your head into a wall. But eventually he would get to where he wanted to get to. Cohen was just, I'm just going to keep dealing, and things would work.
Yeah.
And yes, a great coaching staff, great players to go with it, but still, like, what will Grizzard bring us, even though he has a glutton of weapons to use and understands how to use them based off of last year's success? But, I mean, let's see. Like, either way, he is right. They need to take it to the next level.
Yeah. I want to put this up here. This was actually a great comment by Fukuwab. I thought the same thing because I watched the interview with Mina Kimes, and I was like, yeah, Levante does sound a little different. I was like, maybe something wrong with the audio. Maybe he had my microphone instead of a different one. I don't know. But
maybe your connection.
Yeah. Yeah, he sounded a little off. He didn't sound like his normal self. So yeah, that is a good point. It was great interview though. Go check it out. Mina Kimes does great work there. We got a couple of fan favorites in here that I enjoy. Realtor David Sussman, always a pleasure. He's always bringing he's always calling Jason Light out, which I appreciate. He stays consistent. He calls everybody out. Yeah. Yep. So,
hey, it's not being lazy. It's keeping you on your toes kind of thing. And you got to think both ways. It can't just be, oh, everyone's good. Don't. You got to think both ways. Right? Devil's advocate is a good thing.
Yep. Yeah. No, I appreciate him. He's always in the draft comments, which I love.
To his point though,
the
irrational Light's approach regarding our middle linebacker group. The idea of keeping the same thing, expecting different results is the definition of insanity. Okay, he is right. Yeah. But look at what he did this year. Like, this is one thing where Pless got pissed all last year. He's like, why the hell do you have guys on your roster if they're not ready to step in and know the defense and take it over? Right?
Right.
That was your huge thing. Like, what do you mean Vi Jones has to learn the freaking defense to get out there? Because KJ Britt looks like ass. A big ass out there. Right?
Yeah.
How is it that you couldn't learn it? So now, because he didn't have any reps at all. So I can understand Todd Bowles thinking, if I put him out there, he's going to look like an idiot. Maybe fast, but he's going to look like an idiot. He doesn't know the scheme and where guys are on the field. Not just the scheme, but what the hell's happening, where they're attacking me. You have guys that have so many reps, thousands of reps on the field. And Deion Jones and Anthony Walker Jr. So, that's behind Voss. And Voss is the wet behind the ears or whatever the hell you call it for a young guy. But he has a knack of making plays. If you have guys, like he said, hitting ideas off of each other's heads, thinking, oh, this is what they're trying to develop and trying to push against us. Stop that. And this is how we stop it. A big mind group, as opposed to years past where they're not smart at all. It was just Levante and Devin White real fast. That was about it. Not smart, just real fast.
Yeah. I think I agree with Todd Bowles and Jason Light, where they talked about how the linebacker group as a whole is much better. I think the depth is better, and we'll just have to see. Again, it depends on health. If Servassier is out there, I feel very confident that they're going to be good. But I also want to bring up another fan favorite of mine for the channel, and this is Brutal as Bucks, as he always calls out Baker Mayfield. So, I mean, he's got a good point here. I mean, this is a really good team. Baker's got to continue to play good and continue to rise. I have a good feeling that he's going to continue to raise his game. He raised his game last year. 45 touchdowns total, either throwing or running, over 4,500 yards. He was really good last year. And I know the turnovers, stuff like that, I think that's part of his game. You would like to see him limit those. And he talked about limiting the sacks and stuff like that. And making sure he's taking advantage of the opportunities in front of him. But yeah, I mean, they got a really good team. And I think with that, Baker should have opportunities to put up a lot of good numbers this year.
Well, let's also think about what is falling short. What exactly is falling short? Like making the playoffs, winning one game, is that falling short? Because you got to think years past, like great quarterbacks, they lose just based off it's a team game. You can't just blame it on the quarterback. I mean, Drew Brees fell short a lot. Peyton Manning fell short a lot. Philip Rivers is a really damn good quarterback. He fell short every year.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it's a team game. It's the ultimate team game. Tom Brady said it the best. But, I mean, I think I keep sending this to you, like the Bill Belichick talking about Tom Brady. What was he great at? It was 3 things. Not putting us in negative situations, right? Baker, hopefully you're getting closer to 30 years old. You're understanding of that. You can't keep taking these dumbass sacks or running backwards or fumbling backwards where barely someone hit you and you dropped it because you're trying to make the Super Bowl or a superhero play. Like, you can't do that. Dumb decisions like that. Not throwing the ball for an interception on our side of the 50, getting those points, understanding that. I mean, we heard the QB coach, Thad Lewis, talk about it and mentioned it to Baker. Baker smiled, smirked. He's like, I understand it, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Does it come to fruition this year? Even though he is a great quarterback, it's just you got to be able to put the whole team in a good position and lean on guys. Like even like Trent Dilfer, he was a Bucs quarterback. When he's here, he thought he was all arm. He was a high draft pick, right? Got to put up or shut up. Later in his career, he just leaned on the defense and the running game for the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, we got to be able to kind of lean on something. It shouldn't just be reliant on Baker running around making plays. I know Baker or Patrick Mahomes makes it look cool, but it's a great team around him as well.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he responded. So again, takes limiting negative plays, but I think again, it's a team game, and that's where it starts. So if you keep improving your team as a whole, you're improving your defense to help out your offense, vice versa. Complementary football, that is what usually wins games. It usually is what wins games in the postseason. That's what Washington did. Washington played complementary football. They were able to find ways to win games. They got to the NFC Championship game. And guess what happened in that game? They didn't play complementary football. They had turnovers, and that was the name of the game, and they lost. They just went up against a better team, and that's what happened. So I think
from that quarterback, a better team.
Yeah, that's the biggest factor right there. A better team, and that is something that the Buccaneers are working towards, and I think they have a really good team on deck right now. Like, again, it's going to come down to health. It's going to come down to going to have the right bounces. Like, look at last year. Like, last year's team, I think if they were healthy, let's say the secondary doesn't get beat up. Let's say you have Servassier Dennis. You probably are in the NFC Championship game last year if they were healthy. I don't think that's too crazy to say. Based on how the offense was operating, based on if the defense had their pieces in place, probably a lot better and probably had a better result. But again, that's playing, 2020 or however you want to say it, so.
Catch 22 thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
You're right, though.
But I think the team, Baker is definitely capable of helping this team win a championship. So I'm not worried about that. Again, if it doesn't happen and let's say Baker is he becomes the sole reason we lose in the playoffs, then maybe you start to look at some other factors. But I don't think we got to that point yet.
I mean, so this is even being the dead horse of it, though. But Aaron brings up the point. It's easily Baker's best supporting cast. He should reach at least the NFC Championship game. But I do agree with a bit with Brutal. The wild card in the divisional isn't acceptable anymore. Got to go further. I mean, I understand the want to win. Yeah. And especially with the roster, right? There's just so many other things that go into it. And it's difficult. Yeah. Like it's easy to say when you have Tom Brady, the best decision maker there is, puts you in the best positions.
Right.
But that's why he's saying Baker needs to make better decisions so that we're not in that predicament very often. Because if you're limiting mistakes, there's not so much that you have to score because if you can lean on a defense, if you can not turn the ball over, you're going to be in position to win. That's all Todd Bowles literally does every year. We're in every game because of that. But if you shoot yourself in the foot, like Jameis Winston used to do all the time, we're always coming from behind. And it's usually more than 2 score down, and somehow we come back miraculously. Yeah. But you don't need to be in that position. And I understand both sides, but you got to be able to play with your strengths too. And the supporting cast, you can do anything with. You have a tight end. You have multiple receivers. You have multiple running backs, a great offensive line. I understand it. But still, you're gonna play a good defense too. The Eagles have a good defense, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So if it's the NFC Championship game and you lose, okay, I understand it. But still, like getting to there, it's tough. And health is usually our biggest enemy so far lately. So let's see if we can be healthy first. And I hate using it as a scapegoat, but it is. Like, you just mentioned it. If Voss is healthy, we probably do get there.
Yeah, I think again, this team, and I understand, like, you know, in the comments, like the expectations. I agree with
Oh, there we go. We blacked out for a second.
Oh, what happened? Oh, did I freeze?
No, we're
okay.
We're good now.
Okay, can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, for the reason was, like, I understand, like, the fans' expectations, and rightfully so. I'm with you guys in the comments as far as, like, getting to an NFC Championship game or getting to the Super Bowl. Yeah, obviously that is what we expect. When you look at this team, again, it's still a very young roster, especially on defense. It's still young on offense. You have a lot of guys that are reaching or getting close to entering their prime years. You know, Kalijah Kancey, Yaya Diaby, guys that are entering year 3, Graham Bart going into year 2, Cody Mock, same thing, like year 3 now. Yeah. You have a lot of these guys that are entering years 3 or further into their career. So I think that's huge for this team. And you hope with the experience that a lot of these guys have gotten, that they can take that next step and understand how urgent or how important every game is, especially once you get into the postseason, how it's every snap matters, like how the details and just understanding that focus and where you have to be mentally. And that was something that I heard from Baker Mayfield in his press conference last week or whenever it was, but he was talking about how we're going to raise our focus and have that intensity and try to avoid those lulls, like, you know, the losing streaks in the middle of the season and not even like during the season, it was like not having those lulls in game. Like, you know, we start fast, but what happens after that? It's like, why can we not continue to push forward and have drives and really put the foot on the throat, you know, to say, and really put the gas to the pedal. So that is something that they have to get better at. And that's something that Todd Bowles has talked about, having that killer instinct. So I think that's very important for this team.
I mean, another thing, so I know this is the biggest argument thing.
Yeah.
Because people either love Baker or they hate him. But you got to see the both sides of it. And like, that's the same thing with wins and losses. Everyone wants to point the finger at one person.
Yeah.
When it's a team game, it's difficult. You can't blame the quarterback, can't blame the head coach. Like, but they usually all the blame. That's usually what it is. And the coach has his mind. He can't put his brain into the rest of the team, right? Same with the quarterback. The quarterback can't literally be like, oh, no, you got to stop on a dime right here and come back. This is where I'm throwing it to. That comes with reps. It comes with continuity. That's why usually a lot of these teams that stay in the playoffs is because they've been together for a while. And usually there's turnover because, oh, we're doing good. Doing good. Offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators leave. Oh, shit, recycle. Right? So we need continuity. That's one thing Jason Light mentioned a lot of keeping Todd Bowles. He built the culture. Everyone trusts him. It was nothing and never an issue with that. It was just we need to get better players. And that's where Realtor Zeusman mentioned, he's like, there's just a liability in some of these depth pieces. But to me, right now, there's not many liabilities anywhere. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of opportunistic areas where if someone goes down, someone can benefit greatly. You can't really say there's a massive hole anywhere on this roster right now. And if you're going to say quarterback, well, everyone has that because no one's option 2 is good.
Yeah.
But right now, we have a glutton of depth everywhere. And yes, some of it may be young. Some of it may be just inexperienced, but it's everywhere on the roster. Running back is ridiculous. Running back and receiver is ridiculous. Tight end, we shouldn't have to lean on it. And Cade just does not get hurt, knock on wood. Even if they do, Payne and Devin Culp, I guarantee are chomping at the bit to get on the field. Because I think Devin Culp, if he sees the field at all, it's going to be hard to get anyone other tight end out there because I think if he gets his chance, he's just going to take it and run with it. So it's a fun roster to look at, and I understand the Super Bowl hype as opposed to what ESPN is saying, even though you're on their website.
Yeah.
But it's just take it game by game and hold them to the standard that they need to be in because, it is a hell of a loaded roster.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at it, what they're able to bring back on offense, I think it's not being talked about enough as far as the offensive line being back together, having all 5 starters return and building upon what you had last year. And even involving more into that run game and utilizing that, taking it to the next level. Josh Lazard, he's going to continue to say that, but he's
I'm
just
put that on the soundboard. I got to.
Yeah, you just have to. But that is something that I think hasn't been discussed enough. Adding Bucky Irving into year 2 in this offense, Rashad White being utilized, and then also the vertical aspects that we're going to see from this offense, I think is not only vertical, but just different running schemes, like more, because in Miami, they do a lot more like toss plays and stuff like that, getting outside the numbers and utilizing your speed and athleticism. Well, guess what? The Buccaneers have one of the most athletic offensive lines in football. And you have really good running backs that can cut things back and get north and south in a hurry, i.e. Sean Tucker. I feel like they're going to utilize all 3 of these guys a lot more than they did this past season. And I say that you have all these weapons to throw the ball to. So it's it's going to be tough, to balance it out. And I think if you're Josh Guzard, you have to feel confident about your ability as a new offensive play caller to really just line these guys up and go based on matchups and see what the best matchup is. Somebody's going to be wide open. It just has to be. I don't understand, especially Chris Godwin. I guess we can touch on him a little bit, but Chris Godwin, they're taking their time with as far as the recovery, and rightfully so. Coming off, basically a broken ankle or dislocated ankle, major injury, and having a Mecca Ibuka just it alleviates that stress or concern as far as him coming back too soon. You can really take your time with him and make sure he's 100% because you feel like a Mecca can just step in right away and play that position.
And not even just a Mecca. It's, to me, Jalen McMillan last year, at the end of the year, was phenomenal, guys.
Right.
The dude's put on some weight. He's had a protein shake or 2, right? He's not in any stretch big, but he's put on more weight. You can see it. He has more size. But to me, like the dude already understood the assignment at the end of the year. Literally, if there was a go-to guy, it was him. That Saints game, some of the Baker just chucking the damn ball, and who was the guy there? Jalen McMillan every damn time. I was blown away. Like some of the best damn throws and catch and sequence of plays were that damn game against the Saints. And I was like, geez, man, like,
yeah.
wow. And Jalen McMillan, I think he's just going under the radar because of Emeka being drafted. Oh, Chris Godwin signed his contract. Once he gets back, it's going to be a show of the dominant offense. And then because the draft pick is first overall, that pushes Jalen McMillan. He's going to be in the back. Push him down. Get him down the road. No, like I really truly think that's the guy that he's quiet, does his job, Levante David of the offense, like just going to be consistent. Yeah, he may have had a couple drops here and there last year, which pissed us off. I think Cowboys game, that one really frustrated me. But at the end of the year, you didn't find a more reliable player than Jalen McMillan. And I think he's going to carry that on to this year. And Emeka is just going to be a highlight to use. It just, I mean, I that's how I see it. And if Mike Evans is with him, I mean, just plug and play him. Like, I think he's the better outside guy, McMillan.
Yeah.
And like, that's, I think he's just the unsung hero from last year that was a rookie. And then now year 2, I think he can flourish. So guys need to remember his name, but good. I know people would get frustrated with Zeusman with his takes, but like it's bringing up conversation. And I want to touch on that. And it's going back to the defense, but
yeah.
Plus, bring up his original comment about here it is. I'll bring it up. You can read it.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, liability. Yeah, I mean, I probably lean more towards the safety group because we don't know about Tyke Smith and how he's going to take on that position at strong safety. Middle linebacker group, I understand the concerns, but I feel confident. If it's healthy, you got a good group there. Edge, guys, you can't be sleeping on Yaya Diaby. This guy was really good last year. Probably he was a top 15 edge in the league last year as far as pressures. And I know the sack numbers were lower than his previous year, but Yaya is a very good edge rusher. And he's the guy that I think you have to look out for. Kalijah Cansey, another one that I think is a big factor. Again, he's one that has to stay healthy. Hassan Reddick was brought in to help these guys from a pass rush standpoint. He's a veteran. He's going to help these guys understand what to look for and how to attack the quarterback, and give them just another eye on the field where they can see things and hopefully take advantage of that. But yeah, I mean, sure, they're putting a lot on Hassan Reddick and they want him to produce, and I expect him to do that because he's been that his whole career. He knows how to get after the quarterback. So I'm not worried from that standpoint, but I think a lot of people are sleeping at what the pass rushers they already have in house, and they have good rushers. Yaya's a good rusher. I think Chris Braswell is someone that is going to turn a lot of heads that people are sleeping on. And then, yeah, the defensive tackle position is very strong with Vita Vea, Kalijah, and yes, Logan Hall. I'll mention him in there. So, I mean, you have a good group. I think the pass rush is going to be better because guess what? Guess what's better? The secondary. If the secondary is better, pass rush is better, and vice versa.
All right, and then just to kind of give him his like good talking points. We already mentioned middle linebacker group. It remains liability. I don't say that's not true to me based off of experience and awareness on the field. I think you took a massive step up. I'm talking like 2 or 3 steps up, not just one. So it doesn't matter who goes down. There's still smart guys coming in. It's not lost players, not slow players. You got to make sure you take that in consideration, right? Safety group, I agree with though. I mean, because like you just mentioned, Tyke Smith, and that's why we kind of mentioned that's an easier way to get on the team because does Shiloh make it because of that? Just based off the name, or because like it's just a room that's not deep. But then again, Brutal's Bucks mentioned, or where was it? Here we go. No, Steven mentioned Christian Izien and Merriweather are right there, and then behind them is Banks and Wisdom.
Mhm.
Christian Izien is a more of a safety, but he played nickel because he's quick twitch and he can get downhill in a hurry. Merriweather, although he's not elite, he is a good backup. He's serviceable backup. Every time he was out there, he didn't give up the big play. He may have not made a big play. He didn't give up the big play. So I'll take that. I mean, not every player will be Antoine Winfield Jr. Tyke Smith is similar in the mold of Antoine Winfield Jr., but you're hoping that's what you're getting in those two guys being back there reading. Their awareness is so elite. It's like hopefully they're just walking into interceptions based off of the pressure that Hassan Reddick will bring, right? And to their big thing of, oh, we should have drafted an elite edge rusher. Guys, stop pushing this narrative. Stop listening to ESPN.
Yeah.
Clearly, that is not what our team has ever done. Any Arizona Cardinals defense with Todd Bowles has ever done. They're going to build it from the inside out. So your inside pressure is where you're going to generate it from, and it's going to make easier opportunities for your guys on the outside. They're not looking for a $40 million guy. I know we were all hyped up on maybe we're going to go after Myles Garrett. No, that's just not how they build it. I mean, yes, if the opportunity is there to get a guy like that, great. But years and years and years, they're not investing the money in there. Clearly, they're telling you something where they invest their money in. A great secondary and a great interior. The edge rushers will benefit from that interior pressure and the guy having to escape out. Easier sack. Don't force it, right? So that's the scheme. Just rely on the scheme and believe it, and it'll work. You won a Super Bowl with doing it. So I sound like freaking what's the safety coach? Old guy.
Oh, Nick Rapone.
Yeah, Rapone.
Yeah.
We won a Super Bowl doing it, guys. But I mean, I can see some of your points because like you're back to square one because you didn't draft a middle linebacker that's young. But then again, Anthony Walker Jr. is not that old. Hassan Reddick, even though if he has a good year, you probably would want to sign back on a team that gave him the opportunity, and it's a good team that has a chance to win multiple years, not just 1 year.
Right.
So again, trust your organization to think that they can make the right moves. And then Jason Light hits on a lot of his draft picks. So just because it didn't hit this year, again, you can't fix every issue every year in one draft. So
I'm actually very excited. Just to get back to the safety position, I'm excited to see what JJ Roberts can do. We did a film study on him, the kid out of Marshall. We are Marshall. I'm excited to see what he can bring. He's competing for a nickel, the nickel spot, as well as playing safety. You have Shiloh Sanders in there, who is getting good reviews so far. They like. Obviously, he's got a fan and Antoine Winfield, so that puts him in good graces there. Izzy, I think, is just a very good versatile piece, whether that's playing at safety or at nickel. And then Tyke Smith, I wouldn't rule him out still playing nickel, like doing both, playing strong safety. And then when they're in, nickel formation, he moves down to the slot and plays that position. But we'll see. I think that's what the beauty of Benjamin Morrison and Jacob Parrish give you. You don't have to rush these guys onto the field. What it does is it gives you competition and it pushes the guys in front of them to another level. That's what you're hoping with Jamel Dean. That's what you're hoping with, Tyke Smith or whoever else is playing the nickel spot, because it's going to push these guys. And I think it allows you to play more man coverage, play more press man. And those are tidbits that we've heard so far this offseason, where the corners are going to be more aggressive. They're going to play closer to the line. It's going to allow, guess what? The pass rush to affect the quarterback, because you're disrupt the timing of the offense. And I think that's a big factor that a lot of people are not looking at. Todd Bowles wants to be aggressive. He wants to find ways to keep the offense off balance. And I think with better players in the secondary, more guys to utilize and more guys to provide different ways of playing defense, that's a huge factor that I think a lot of people are not considering when they're talking about this defense.
I love the energy in the chat, guys. Keep it up. I mean, there's just a bunch of new guys and a lot of just people going back and forth. I love it. So keep that excitement into the season. Hopefully there's no lull like we keep talking about, but keep bringing it, guys. It's fun to see.
Be sure to hit that like button. We got over 100 people in here, so I expect 100 likes. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe. Also, I want to share this while we have you all here. Let me get it back up there. Be sure to join our Telegram. So you can join us. Join the app. The link is in the chat. I'll be sure to put it in the description under this video. But yeah, join the channel. It's free. You can come in. You can get updates for the channel, and you can have it right there on your phone. You just download Telegram. You hit this link, and you can join the channel. And yeah, you can. I think you'll be able to talk with us as well, like leave comments and stuff, and you can give ideas for, future topics or something that you guys want us to look into. We can definitely do that. But this is just another way of you guys connecting with us. It's a fun thing to interact and something where you don't have to be on YouTube all the time. It's just another avenue where you can talk some football with us and also get your updates for the channel right there on your phone. So it's just another way, another avenue that we're trying to bring to you guys.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool, guys. I mean, it's literally just texting back and forth. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be exciting, and just another, like Plus said, another way just to get your ideas out, and we can just same thing we're doing here. And it's not just with us; it's with everyone. So yeah, we may chime in. We may be like, oh, let's see how this ends, right? So hey, just bring it. Like I love the excitement. I love the energy, and there's good reason to be excited. And then it's not even mentioning like David Walker, Chris Braswell on the edge, like young guys that can develop and turn into something, and then rotation guys. Like we're relying so much on Hassan Reddick being that dude that can take it to the next level, and then Yaya benefiting from him. But it's just the rotation you have now. I mean, Anthony Nelson, I know there's Mr. Consistent, but you're looking for edge rush pressure, right? Yeah. David Walker's getting nothing but good reviews. Chris Braswell, Jason Light's tooting his horn every time he shows face on any interview. Yeah. So Jason Light doesn't just blow smoke up your ass. Like he usually is saying something because he believes in it. And he's usually been more often than not right. So let's see. Very powerful hand guy, very similar to Yaya. I think he's going to take that step like how Jason Light mentioned.
Yeah, that's a good question, Aaron. I'm not sure if I'm going to change my fantasy football name this year. Yeah, I might have to change it up because last year's team was not very good, very similar to Logan Hall. So obviously it didn't work out for me. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to change it, have a better year, better record, hopefully better draft because
that's where you live and die right there, Plus.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. We only got it, believe it or not, just a month away. We're about, I think, less than 6 weeks till preseason football, which is crazy. And the Buccaneers have 2 joint practices, which will be exciting to see. They have one with Pittsburgh and one with Tennessee. So I think that's cool. I think it's cool that they're playing different teams this year as far as preseason. I know they played Pittsburgh in the past, but they're actually playing Buffalo in the preseason, which I think is awesome that they play them and then they play Buffalo in the regular season as well. So I think that's going to be cool because usually the third game of the preseason, Todd Bowles likes to play his guys, like his starters. So that'll be interesting to see if that changes or not. But yeah, a lot of excitement with the team, a lot of good things. I think the biggest thing that we've kind of like touched on so far is obviously the health. But right now, when you look at this team, I think the only guy that probably not going to be ready for training camp is going to be Chris Godwin, just because, they're taking their time with him. But it sounds like everyone else is going to be full go and ready. And I think that's a big bonus to start training camp at.
Health. I mean, it
Yeah.
was the issue all last year.
Yep.
Hassan Reddick's here, guys. He's in the flesh. I mean, and something that I know it's just because it's rookies, but the secondary depth is huge. And bringing back Hall was huge.
Yeah.
The competitions there are going to be huge. Like you just mentioned, the mentality, playing close to the line, plays into Morrison's strengths big time. They did that in Notre Dame all the time. Man defense, really close to the line, mess up the routes, agitate the receivers. I just think it's like, and someone said it, who was it? There we go. Jutton Button. This is Jamel Dean's make or break year. We can't rely on him. So, and that's true because he doesn't intercept the ball. But when he's on the field, he's actually pretty annoying to receivers just because he's a bigger, lengthier option.
Mm-hmm.
And he is fast. It's just, again, a guy like Servasi that gets hurt a lot. Oops. Careful now, Bess.
That's why Mike drops.
But, I mean, that's why having depth behind them makes a difference. And then how Todd Bowles said, blanked on his name, Nickelback.
Oh, Jacob Parrish.
Jacob Parrish is not just a nickelback. They see him as an outside guy as well. So the future is there, and it's just competition, sharpening competition. So I think it's going to be exciting in that fact. And then Steven, it's not just the Jets and the Eagles, it's also the Panthers twice. So.
No, he plays all of the teams that he's been on. We play the Cardinals, Cardinals, Panthers, Eagles, Jets. So yeah, he gets the revenge tour this year. As Aaron said earlier, I think the production is going to be fun to watch and see what he can provide. But I think the biggest thing, like I mentioned earlier, Reddick helps everyone around him. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing. He helps Yaya Diaby get more single looks. If they have to double Hassan Reddick, guess who that opens up? The big man in the middle, Vita Vea. And guess who else gets one-on-one matchups? Kalijah Cansey. And hell, even Logan Hall will get a one-on-one matchup. And maybe, just maybe, he wins some because, again, they're not going to be focused on him. So we shall see.
Don't say 10. Just don't.
Yeah, don't put the expectations too high. But if he can get 6 sacks again, I will gladly take that. I think that's a good number for him. Anywhere from 6 to 8 sacks is really good production for Logan Hall. I think if you could, let's say Yaya and Hassan Reddick get you 12 each, and then you have, 7 from Vita, 6 from Logan Hall, and then maybe Kalijah Cansey gets 10 or 11 as well. That's a lot of good production right there. That's going to help you increase your turnover numbers. It's going to be a lot of fun to see. So, yeah, I mean, Kalijah Cansey with 12. Kalijah wants to lead the league in sacks. He already put that out there. So if he can get 20 sacks, we'll definitely take that as well.
But like you said it very early in the podcast, it's like all this is predicated on the defense working together, the marriage of the secondary and the defensive line. Yeah. So if they are playing closer to the line, they're messing up routes, slowing things down for the receivers. It makes things easier on the defensive line. So you're hoping you see that come to fruition. It's just a lot of us right now, we're throwing numbers, we're talking great things, we're excited.
Yeah.
But you got to see it on the field because, again, recency bias, like we got thrown all over last year. We didn't get any sacks. Like the outside linebackers didn't get any sacks. So you hope the reinforcements help. You hope the secondary, the way they're playing differently and communicating with the entirety of the defense now and the secondary group helps as well. And that adds to the continuity of the defense, equals to more pressures, more sacks, more interceptions, more hands on balls, right? And you're hearing nothing but good things, but that's what the offseason is. That's where the hype train is. Looking at a roster, you can say paper champions, or you can say they are destined to be where they need to be. And I'm hoping that's the latter, right?
Yeah, fully agree with DE13. Yeah, absolutely. Hit the like button. We appreciate all the support. But yeah, I want to just continue on with that as far as the pass rush. Well, you were just talking about like the defense as far as getting thrown on last year a lot, and a lot of that came from the weakness in the middle of the field. That was the big issue. So I think what this team now has in place is you have competent players at each level. You have guys that can step in and play the position and play the scheme the right way. So I think that is something that the Buccaneers saw as a weakness going into this offseason. I think they addressed it very well. And with Servassier coming back, and then the linebacker position as a whole being better, secondary being much deeper, and having the ability to play multiple defenses, play more man coverage with the athleticism that you added to the team, be more aggressive. So you just have a lot more pieces from each level that can go out there and play smart football. And I think that's something that has been missed since we saw that in the Super Bowl year, where you had a lot of guys that were just in position all the time and could go out there and make plays.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can share that Telegram link.
Oh, I can put it back in the chat. Hold on. It was, I'm going to put it in the, or not, I'll put in the description. I'll have the link in the description once this live is ended. And it should be the very first comment at the top, but let me see if I can get it back on here. I had it, but I'll make sure it's in the description, guys, so you guys can join. But yeah, it's something new that we're trying out. So be sure to download Telegram, and then you can hit that link to join, and you'll be in there. So we'll be looking for new people to, share this with, and obviously it'll be a lot of fun as we continue on and get into the season. We got more things planned, especially we're going to try some things out on YouTube as we continue to grow, try some different things there. So really looking forward to the season, and it should be a lot of fun because I think we're going to try to do more live coverage this year. So that is something that we're going to try to incorporate, maybe some more live like film studies, do some live coverage of actual games and like talk it through why the Bucs are actually playing. I know we've done that in the past, but we want to try to do that this year a little bit more heavily, especially as the team is showing progress and continuing to play better this year.
And then it's just, I want to get more reaction of like what happens when we're watching the game and how it gets rowdy. But it's fun. It's fun. It's we start pointing the finger too.
Yeah.
But it's usually at Logan Hall though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe one day I'll say good things about Logan, but I mean, when you go completely the wrong way from the play, it's just hard to, say positives about him. But yeah, we're looking forward to the live reactions, and will we blame Baker? It's all Baker's fault, or it's this guy's fault, so yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Believe it or not, we do. I mean, we used to get like shit talk because we'd point the finger at Brady at times. Like you have to be able to look at the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Some people think it's like one guy can do no wrong. Like there was a guy on YouTube that literally broke down almost every play of Baker and said like Baker's doing amazing. He's doing perfect. I'm like, no, what? The one that pissed me off was that Cowboys game. I'm like, what are you talking about? The dude fumbled and lost 25 yards in a play. Thank God he got the ball back. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And that's not his fault. That was not his fault in that play, supposedly by this guy. I'm like, I love Baker. I mean, he's our quarterback. I loved him before we even signed him. I was banging the table to get him in here. I want him when he was picked. But yeah, there's no perfect player. There's always going to be something where, like you were saying, lulls in a season or in a game. You just got to limit that.
Yeah.
And it was, I always go back to the quote of Marshawn Lynch. It's like, I know I'm going to get got, but I'm going to get mine before I get got, or something like that. Where I guess George Kittle told that to Brock Purdy. He's like, just get yours before people get you. Like, get yours more often than you get got. So it's just being more consistent. It's all it is. And for us to win consistently, the quarterback is the one that touches the ball every play. You can't make big negatives very often to shoot yourself in the foot, right? And Jameis Winston was like the severe outlier of what really bad looked like, right? Baker's really damn good, but he does some dumb things at times. If he can limit the dumb, we're in a hell of a good situation, and we're going to be in the right spot more often than not. And if we have such of a defense, good luck to any other team facing us.
Yeah, that's why I was so encouraged about what he talked about, and I think he's very aware of what the issues are. Talking about sacks and how to eliminate the bad sacks and get those numbers down, avoiding the negative setbacks, especially when you're in position to put points on the board, not taking a sack in certain situations, or understanding when not to play the hero ball and try to fight for those extra yards and try to make something out of nothing. So I think that's the important piece, and just knowing the game and when to put everything on the line. Like, the play to Rachaad White last year against San Francisco, like that's a gotta have it play. So understanding those situations more and knowing when you have to put your body or put give your guy a chance and let him go make a play, understanding those situations and not trying to lose the game before you have a chance to win it. That's important. But I think for the most part, Baker is in a very good position, and we'll see. We just hope this team continues to grow. I really like that he's going to take more control of the offense and have the ability to check out of things and audible. He did that last year, but I think he's going to take that even a further step. Yep, next level. Next level. We're going to continue. That's just going to be the hashtag for this offense. Next level. That's what we're hoping for. But yeah, I'm excited to see this team play. It's going to be really fun. And back to the point of like watching the games live, like we pretty much put blame on everybody. If someone messes up, we put blame on Mike Evans. Like, he has the randomest drops in his career. It's like, how do you drop that touchdown when you just caught you made this amazing play and you can't make the routine catch? It's like, so we put blame on everybody. If it's their fault, it's their fault. We're going to let you know about it. And that's what we love doing the film. The film doesn't lie. So when we watch the film and you can see what exactly happened, that's what makes it so beautiful to get that feedback and understand this is why they were doing this or how this went down. And you can really just tell that the tail of the tape. So it's really cool.
And that's not us being assholes. We're just literally, you just point out what you see.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just want to listen to an ESPN and talking heads and be like, oh, this is what happened. I mean, did they show you what happened? Or like,
yeah,
I guess I never liked hearing that. And like, I was like, I don't agree with what you're saying because it just doesn't match up with what I saw. And that's seeing is believing. And we watch it a lot. We're obsessed. So it kind of adds to why we kind of have our own takes and we kind of want to share it. But
yeah, I mean, maybe this for another podcast, but it's like me and you were talking about, since we're Orlando Magic fans and talking about the Desmond Bane trade, and you go on and you see like these people on ESPN talking and giving their opinions, and they have no idea about the Orlando Magic. Like, they just don't understand the team. They don't know what they have. Like, I've seen a couple of these guys, like, this is a move you make if you have a bona fide star. I'm like, have you not watched Paulo Banchero? Like, what are we talking about? The guy averaged 27 points a game last year, was one of the best players in the playoffs. Like, the guy's a star player. So it's just like stuff like that. And when you watch like, and you watch these other shows talking about the NFL, and you see the constant power rankings, not having the Buccaneers in the top 10 or stuff like that, having the Panthers have a chance to win the division, or, it's like, what are we doing here? It's like, and the Falcons continue to be the favorite in the NFC South, even though the Buccaneers have continued to win this division. They're still the best team in the division roster. Like, they have it all. But with that said, other people around the national media continue to doubt this team for whatever reason.
I mean, I understand it. It's like you're
Yeah.
trying to get clicks, you're trying to get views, you're trying to rise attention. But some of it, don't just bullshit people, because then people are going to start believing it. And then you're pulling the wool over people's eyes, and they're like, wait, what the hell? Why are they good? You said they were terrible. They're going to blow it. They know they're going to suck. Like, what? Like, and that's where it's like, what are you talking about? Like, every year we're always trash, and then somehow every year we win the division, or we're always in position. And it's like, us as Buccaneer fans, we get frustrated because we know we're good and we should be at a certain standard where we hold ourselves to. And it's like, damn it, come on, guys. Like, you're beating yourself. You're submitting to the bullshit you hear in ESPN. And it's frustrating and annoying. And you're like, and then sometimes people, like, even our own fans, will be like, no, you see, ESPN was right. Yeah. I guess. But
I appreciate Fukuab. This guy has been day one Real Bucs Talk, so we appreciate you. Always seeing you here in the chat, the comments. But yeah, I don't intend on changing. I'm just gonna continue to give my opinions, and if you guys agree, great. If not, it's okay. It's all right. That's why we have Mark. You can agree with him.
Well. I mean, hey, the live reactions will be fun. I think that'll be an exciting, fun tidbit. And yeah, like, it's gonna be an exciting season, guys. Like, Farouk Kawab was during the Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
Well, I remember him in the live streams, and just, we had some wild live streams then, that guy. That was fun. That was very fun. Hopefully we have more like that. Like,
hopefully,
fires. It was fun.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good luck thing, because I think the last time we were doing that, we're pretty much in Super Bowl contention. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. With that said, I think that's going to close out the show. If I can get my right page to come up here. There we go. There we go. Be sure to hit that like button. You can tell we're rusty. So it's been a while since we've been a live stream. So we're gonna get ourselves into gear as we head into the season. It's gonna be, I think we're gonna try to be a little bit more edgy, a little bit more uncut as we move forward this season. So that should be cool. Mark's gonna lead the charge on that, but be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I think I saw some new faces in here. If you already subscribed, we appreciate it. And yeah, I think we're gonna have more videos as we get moving throughout the week. If you guys have anything specific that you guys want to see us talk about, be sure to drop it in the comments. Be sure to check out our Telegram that we shared. Join. I'll be sure to drop the link in the description, and I'll leave a comment. I'll make sure I pin it. But yeah, I can't wait for this season. We got a lot in store for you guys, and it's going to be a lot of fun. More film studies. I think that's going to be a focus. So a lot of film studies, a lot of more live stuff. So if there's a player that you guys want to see during a live stream, let us know. Just throw it in the comments. Try to get it a couple weeks before, so that way I can gather the tape. But yeah, we'll definitely get on it and try to bring that to you guys. So,
and also, guys, if you're on our YouTube, go over to our Twitter as well, because plus we'll share like the links and stuff that, like, especially to our Telegram, we'll probably put it in there. If you're not following us on Twitter, you got to get on there too. That's mainly where we kind of started, and then we branched out to YouTube. So get on there. You can talk to us there, but Telegram will be the more genuine, the kind of one-on-one stuff where we want to really get nitty-gritty, like texting style kind of cool stuff.
Yeah,
it's with everyone. So let's get this party rocking and have some fun talking Buck football.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that said, I think that's going to close it for us. Everyone have a great night. Go Bucks, and hit that like button. We appreciate all the support. We'll see you on the next one.
Woo!